Hi everybody. Okay, we're gonna do a Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets box opening. Just picked this up from Hills Wholesale Gaming. Great place to pick up Harry Potter cards. We're hoping to get some various foils to finish out our cube. And this is just a generally good set with lots of good stuff, so let's see what we can come up with here. Basically just going to look for the rares here. We got a broken wand. Card is fine. Nothing too exciting though. Pack 2 here. A blagging. Not super exciting. Would be nice to have in foil though, because that is a card that I do have in my cube, but not a foil version. Put some of this out here. We've got a Mandrake. That's very good actually. This is just a Strictly Better Cunning Fox, which is already a solid card, a common card from one of the early sets. And this one is just the same stats. It's a 5-cost, 3/1 creature that also has some upside, especially because it's a plant and can go really well in the Pomona Sprout decks, getting a bonus, some bonus health just for being a plant. So that's a good one to get. Okay, looks like we got a foil in here. We got a foil Spider's Exodus and some Weasley twins. So those are always nice to have a foil. Unlike a lot of other games, this game has foils show up. I think it's once in every 6 packs, so we'd expect about 6 in this box here, which is nice because it's essentially a second rare in every pack as well. Got a Petrified here. Let's see what we got next. Giving me trouble here for some reason. Okay. Cauldrons, Flying Laps. Garden Gnomes, always fun. Build a whole deck full of Garden Gnomes and they're kind of good. Crazed Capybara. It's an okay card. Haven't seen a lot of it in tournament play, but there's a whole cycle of cards basically that when they come into play they draw you a card. So I feel like there's some potential there. Body Blow. Rose Growth. That's one of those ones that's actually a functional reprint of another card. I've got a Whomping Willow and a foil Denoming the Garden. Good things to have. Nothing particularly exciting to me. Neither of the foils is one that I'm missing, but still good to have foils. They're good trade fodder if nothing else. Norwegian Ridgeback, that's a solid card. Really all of those big dragons. I think the Welsh Green from Adventures at Hogwarts is actually my favorite, but the Norwegian Ridgeback is also a solid contender. So move through these. We got another foil here, a foil Lockhart's Lecture, which is just a ridiculous card that I'm really glad I've never actually seen anyone play. Kind of turns it into this game of Simon Says or something. Well, not Simon Says, I guess, but basically you have to say the word brilliant after everything anytime an opponent plays a spell. Really, really silly. Escaping the Dursleys, though, that is a solid card. I used this in my most recent World Championship deck at Gen Con. Had a couple copies of this. I think it's a really solid card that should see more play. Not sure why it doesn't. Maybe it's just that Chamber of Secrets is sort of a harder set to come by. Maybe it's just availability of cards or something, but really strong, can shut down a lot of things. Flying card. So yeah, definitely, probably happiest so far with the Mandrake and the Escaping the Dursleys. Those are good. Got a Draco the Seeker here. Some of these packs seem just generally harder to open than others. I'm not sure why that is. What do we got here? Entrancing Enchantments. Yeah, kind of some support for the character deck. I think most people have toyed around with that in some capacity or another, trying to build a deck that is primarily character-based, maybe some adventures and things like that. Colin Creevy. This he was the starting wizard in one of the top 4 decks this year. Coincidentally enough, kind of a more character-based deck, using Grip Hook and lots of forced card draw as the win conditions. So pretty solid. Oh, we get that foil blagging. That's actually good. That's one that I was looking for. It's in my cube, but I didn't have a foil version, so happy about that. Nice to have. Yeah, and foils from this set are just hard to come by. Like I said, it's one of the rarer sets anyway. So there's a foil Venomous Tentacular Juice. I do have one of these in foil, but you can really never have enough Venomous Tentacular Juices. It's pretty overpowered, especially when used in combination with other cards that can force card draw. It not only effectively deals damage by forcing the draw of cards, but it gets around a lot of damage prevention things like Neville, who, stops, makes it so your opponent can take a maximum of 8 damage a turn. Does nothing with this. You can gladly force them to draw a lot more than 8 cards in a turn. It gets around that completely. So Venomous Tentacular Juice was a key in my previous year's World Championship winning deck. So Molly Weasley. Yeah, Molly Weasley could be another starting point for a character deck. Impersonating Goyle. Yeah, and we're just going to keep talking about these cards that fetch out characters and deal with characters in play and things like that. There really is some potential for it here. I haven't really been able to make it work quite effectively enough, especially against a more aggressive, low-to-the-ground creature type strategy, but I think there's a deck to be built out there, just waiting for the right person to really put it all together. So. Alright. Be nice to pull as a no hands. Somebody last year actually ran no hands as kind of the win condition of their deck. It makes you discard the top card of your deck, and if it's a lesson card, you win the current match. There are a few of the brooms, the clean sweep brooms, that essentially let you look at the top 3 cards and put one back, and so that can ensure that there is a lesson on top of the deck, and essentially then that just reads, you win the current match. So kind of interesting, effective enough, I guess. Ron here. Probably not the best version of Ron. Haven't really seen anybody use that either, but I guess it could come in useful in certain cases. We got a Dragon Poison. Another one I'd like to have in foil, but do not. Ooh, like to pull a Dobby's Disappearance, actually. That was a card, it's a rare from this set that was really useful in my deck, but I'd like to have a few more from this year. A foil Gryffindor Common Room, and another Justin Finch Fletchley. So if you're seeing anything here and you're interested in trading, I am always up for trading. Send me a message, talk about trade lists or something. It's a foil Professor Sprout and a Harry Second Year. Actually pretty happy with that foil Professor Sprout there. That is another one that I did need a foil of to put into my my cube, so another one that's definitely going straight in there. I don't remember, is it 4 foils? I think it maybe is, so I would expect a couple more here at least. Another Mandrake. Again, you can never have too many Mandrakes. I'm not sad about that at all. Magical Mess Remover. I'll stop and point out this uncommon, but this I think is another key to making a character deck work effectively. Choose any number of your cards in play and discard them. Kind of one of those cards that might make you scratch your head at first. Why would you want to do that? The idea is that you would use it to get rid of character cards that you've already used their one-time abilities. Now you can reuse their abilities with a card like Goodnight Sleep, but that costs 10 Transfiguration to play, whereas this costs 1. So this is available for you with really very little investment in your lessons. So another Draco the Seeker. Getting a lot of characters here and a lot of duplicate characters here. My experience with these boxes hasn't been that the Coalition has been particularly bad, so I'm kind of surprised we're seeing a lot of repeats here. But yeah, double beater defense, fine card, another expensive Quidditch card essentially. And we got a foil Escaping the Dursleys, which I also did need for my cube, so that's good. And an Errol here, so can definitely be put to good use in an owl deck. So yeah, it's a decent pack there. I'm just gonna take a count here and see. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We've actually got 7 foils so far, so we might be at the end of that in terms of what we're gonna get in foils. And yet there are still 7 packs to go here, so I am not complaining. I think it says the odds on here somewhere. Maybe not. I was thinking it was 1 in 6. Maybe I'm wrong about that. Let's take a look here. Got another flying car. Yeah, that's what I mean. Doubling up on rares. And it's a big set with a lot of rares, so kind of surprising. But again, if anybody needs any of these, let me know. Got a foil Greenhouse 3. Greenhouse 3 is a good card also in that Pomona Sprout plant deck we were talking about. So let's see, try to speed things along here. Dogs barking upstairs, I assume you can hear that. Got a Memory Charm. Hold on a sec. Okay. Memory Charm here. This looks like it has a bit of a ding at the top. I'm not sure what that's about. That doesn't seem to be like a crimp or anything, like a misprint or miscut or anything. It just seems to be, it got dinged up in the package here somehow. I guess these are pretty old cards though, so who knows how long they've been running around a warehouse, just kind of being tossed about. So we got Percy Weasley there. And we're going to knock out these last 3 packs here. Guide to Household Pest, that's a solid common. You want to have a lot of those. Another Greenhouse 3. And we're down to just 2 here. 2 packs to go. We've got a Fox and a foil No Hands. That's good. And one more. And we'll let she go. We got a potions test. So that is it for this. I've taken enough of your time. We'll just run through these real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Actually, 9 foils in here, which is closer to 1 out of 5, I think. So I'm not sure what the overall odds there, but yeah, all in all, pretty happy with that. Thanks for watching, and like I said, let me know if you want to do any trades.